Right now, a heartbroken Hartford community is leaning on each other tonight, 1 week after the loss of Miguel Alfinez. Thank you so much for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Annette Montgomery. Now, whether they knew him personally or just learned about him after his death, dozens gathered to honor Miguel's memory and stand with his family in their time of grief. Fox 61's Jalen Anderson was at the vigil tonight and has reaction from the neighbors who attended.
A community vigil brought families from across Hartford together to honor the life of Miguel Alfinez. Surrounded by prayers, hugs, and shared laughter, friends and loved ones found comfort in one another. Miguel's family says the overwhelming turnout is a testament to the incredible person he was and the lasting impact he had on everyone around him.
There was a lot of people reaching out, more than I even thought that would reach out, and it shows the amount of people that he connected with, all the love that he showed.
Mothers United Against Violence showed up in full force to not only be an anchor for Miguel's mom, but to show her that she is not alone in this battle.
Definitely a great help, especially to my mom, because I know that I can't understand her pain. I'm his sister, so I don't know what it is to lose a son. They do. So when it comes to words of wisdom, words that can help her, even if it's just a little, some advice that they give her that can help her cope with the situation and have her understand that she's not alone when it comes to this.
As family and friends shared memories of Miguel, they want to let others in Hartford know that gun violence is never the answer.
It feels really good to know that we have a community that stands behind us, especially when it comes to gun violence. It definitely needs to stop. I've seen nothing but gun violence and people dying behind it on the news just this week alone, and one is too many.
In Hartford, Jalen Anderson, Fox 61.
Thank you so much, Jalen. Well, a 27-year-old man is dead after he sustained injuries in a serious crash on I-691 in Southington last weekend. State police say Kendall Robinson of Windsor was driving eastbound Saturday night when he veered across lanes, crossed the median, and hit another car traveling westbound. Robinson was rushed to the hospital but later died from his injuries. At this time, the crash remains under investigation. If you have any information, please contact Connecticut State Police. Well, new tonight, Hartford Healthcare is moving to acquire Manchester Memorial and Rockville General Hospitals from Prospect Medical Holdings. The group previously filed for bankruptcy earlier this year. Now, the two Connecticut hospitals have faced financial strain, service cuts, and heavy criticism. Hartford Healthcare says the $86 million deal will stabilize operations, improve care, and reduce private equity influence in local healthcare. State Senator Sawood Anwar called the move incredibly welcome news for communities relying on those hospitals. Now, this agreement is part of a broader reshaping of Connecticut's hospital system, as other facilities are also in talks to change hands. Joel Kaiser was not in court today after he was detained by ICE. The 18-year-old is accused of losing control of his car on I-91 in Enfield, causing him to slam into two state troopers. 5 people, including Kaiser, went to the hospital. Now, a judge already reduced his bond after his public defender argued he had no record and that weather played a big role in that crash. Homeland Security confirmed Kaiser is in the country illegally after coming from Ecuador back in 2023. And ICE has now placed a detainer for his arrest. And ICE says it is working now to keep a violent offender off the streets in Connecticut. Federal agents filed an arrest detainer for Ludwig Carius Intiriano. He's accused of sexually assaulting a young woman at knife point while she was jogging at Fort Hill Park in New Haven last month. Investigators say DNA from that attack matches samples from past sexual assault cases out of Texas. ICE says he has been deported twice before but returned to the U.S. illegally. If the detainer holds, he will stay behind bars while his case moves forward. And there has been a sharp rise in ICE activity across Connecticut just this year. New data from Connecticut Data Collaborative shows arrests have nearly doubled and community arrests have tripled compared to 2024. And that's with the biggest spike coming out of Hartford. Much of that increase is tied to arrest of people with pending criminal charges, not convictions. And deportations are up too, especially for individuals picked up in the community, not in jail. Immigration enforcement remains a national debate, but here in Connecticut, the numbers show a clear trend. ICE activity is accelerating. Well, now we have an update to the breaking news story we brought you last night. The search for a New Haven fisherman who went underwater has been called off. Officials say that man went into the water near the Middletown Avenue bus yard just before 8 last night. Firefighters and police launched boats, shore teams, and even a drone to search through the night. Now, strong currents and poor visibility forced them to stop overnight, and the fire chief says that search was called off unless any credible information is provided. Of course, we'll continue to update you on this story as we learn more.
The new tenants thought that the amenities were also up to par, which is untrue.
2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's how some neighbors in the Avon Place Tenants Union say they feel about the progress they're now trying to make with securing better living conditions. Last Friday, we reported union members finally secured a meeting to negotiate terms with the building's owner. Fox 61's Celine Arif shares why that meeting isn't happening anymore.
For the first time, we are going inside the apartments that folks who live here say have all kinds of problems and health hazards. Let's take a look inside.
We told them to move it when we came in because they were arrested.
Kwame Appiah has lived here for a few years and says he moved in with a laundry list of maintenance issues.
The main concern was the carpet. When I was coming in, they told me they were going to change the carpet. And it's 3 years now. Nobody did anything about it.
Stained carpets, water damage, unfinished paint jobs, no HVAC maintenance, and deteriorating wood on his balcony. Him and his neighbors say enough is enough.
And nobody cared.
But their frustrations haven't been enough to get a meeting with the building owner. Union leader Hannah Schreier says the owner called her and canceled the meeting. She says he's upset with them publicly speaking about their apartment issues, but she says the only reason they're sharing these living conditions is to get some changes made around here.
I just continued to maintain that that's what we were there to do. We weren't there to do anything else other than have a respectful and productive relationship.
With the meeting off the table, people on the property showed us for the first time these issues they've been dealing with, like the mold growth from one home that was painted over, and what looks like mold in Tammy Sampiri's kitchen. When she requested the property to fix it, she says she was told.
One of the maintenance workers here stated that it wasn't mold, it was just dirt, and I just needed to, clean it off or paint it.
And it's not just the inside of the units. Potholes, deteriorating sidewalks, and cracks in the road are also an issue union members are fighting to fix. Rhonda Harrington says that's the reason she has these bruises today.
I tripped and I fell completely down on my knees, my head, everything.
She's still recovering from that fall that she says wouldn't have happened if the road cracks were maintained in the first place.
If I had hit my head harder, I might not even be here right now.
Fox 61 didn't find anyone at the property office to speak with, and we did call them for a comment, but nobody answered the phone, and the voicemail was full. For now, union members say they're not giving up and will continue trying to meet with the building owner, despite him canceling their meeting that was supposed to be on September 25th. Now, these are not all the reasons behind why the union was formed. They also shared with me that amenities like the pool, playground, and gym are either broken or run down. Reporting in Avon, Celine Air, Fox 61.
Thank you, Celine. And while our crews were there today filming that story, our reporter and 3 union members stumbled upon 2 swastikas when they were going to the management office. Take a look at this. Those symbols appear to have been spray painted sometime between 6 last night and 6 this morning, according to union members. The property also had other spray painted signs that said the word sold. Union members tell us the property owner was looking to sell the building recently. Right now, they say they're shaken up and have no idea who would do something so hateful.
We obviously condemn
all hate crimes. I myself am Jewish. Tobias is Jewish. My grandparents survived Auschwitz and Mauthausen. And we're just horrified. This is an attack on tenant union members who are Jewish, on tenant union leadership, on the owners, and the potential buyer. That is absolutely horrific.
And Avon police tell us this is now under investigation, and anyone with information, please call them. New tonight, phase 2 of a major construction project at the I-91, I-691, and Route 15 interchange in Meriden is now underway. It's aimed at improving safety and easing traffic congestion. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi spoke with people in the area and shows us what drivers can expect as they hit the road this week.
Yeah, right now I'm on Paddock Avenue, which is directly above the Route 15 interchange, one of the busiest highway corridors in Connecticut. Now, thousands of drivers will be limited to one section of the Paddock Bridge for nearly 2 years. 3 major construction projects, including work on 2 busy highways in Meriden, are causing frustration for many people, particularly those in the East Main Street area.
I wait until later in the evening and then come, and then we don't get that rush hour traffic that's backed up all the way up to the next light.
The Connecticut Department of Transportation has launched Phase 2 of construction on Interstates 91 and 691, as well as the Route 15 interchange. It aims to reduce traffic congestion linked to hundreds of crashes over the years. Dan Permilli lives in Meriden and collects plastic bottles. He says he avoids rush hours as much as he can.
It's a big block up. I mean, I used to come here at 5 o'clock to get my bottles. Now I avoid the area because the traffic is so congested that it makes it difficult for me to get in and out of the places that I gotta go.
But most importantly, officials say their main goal is to provide safety to all motorists.
I hope they do it real quick because right now it's not working out as far as I can see.
Meanwhile, DOT says in order to widen Paddock Avenue Bridge, an alternating one-way lane has been put in place while they work to demolish the bridge, which is scheduled for Sunday. While shooting this video, we captured a traveling moment. Cars moved through a green light when suddenly another vehicle came speeding through the same lane from the opposite direction. Permilli says he hopes improvements like this project will eventually ease traffic and prevent dangerous situations like this one.
I hope it's better in the future for everybody because right now it's difficult for people.
Now, the Connecticut Department of Transportation says it hopes the project will ease traffic congestion once it's completed in 2030. In Meriden, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.